Greetings to you, Crocoduck Army. All of us have been rejected by people in one way or another during our lives. It may have been family, potential friends, or desired romantic partners. Feeling unrequited affection for someone is not pleasant for anyone, but clearly people handle that differently. Elliot Rodger handled it by killing a bunch of random people. I've seen a lot of videos on the subject from other well-known YouTubers, and I haven't liked most of them, though I do think a couple of them were worthwhile. I've so far seen his crime blamed on misogyny, mental illness, Hollywood movies, rape culture, his parents, entitlement, the patriarchy, and affluenza, and the list just goes on and on. It was probably some subset of those things, but how important is it that we argue over the percentages? The underlying factor here is hatred, and the ultimate manifestation of extreme hatred is random killing. He certainly did hate women. He also hated men, except for himself, who he loved tremendously. Many guys would have loved to be in the position he started from, having money, seemingly ample free time, and no physical issue that could hinder him from being successful at dating. If he had even the slightest social acumen, he should have been fine, but he isolated himself for the most part and then was antisocial during most of the times he wasn't isolated. Then he wondered why nobody could find the supposedly incredibly nice guy who was Elliot Rodger. I'm pretty sure that none of you guys watching this would ever even consider doing anything like he did, but I can guarantee you that some of you watching have a few of the misconceptions or difficulties that he had, even if you have none of the hatred that he had. You may wonder why I'm so sure about that. It's because I had some of those same misconceptions at his age too. Elliot hated partly because he had no idea how to effectively get what he wanted, and he blamed his failings on others. When I was his age, I wasn't much good at relationships with the opposite sex either. I was under the impression at times that women want to date bad boys. But due to my inexperience with relationships and limited life experience in general, I would often conflate bad boys with rebelliousness, and that in turn with treating women poorly. Once I reached college and my social circle expanded, I figured out that wasn't true. I learned that sometimes women fall in love with men who later turn out to be abusers and have a difficult time leaving the person they fell in love with. I also used to think that the friend zone was real. I didn't see it as something that was evil or that was conspiring against my romantic success as Elliot did. I just saw it as an unfortunate fact of life for a clueless kid from small-town upstate New York. You want to know what the friend zone really is? The friend zone is a misleading term describing when someone you're attracted to likes you enough to spend time with you platonically. They genuinely like you and feel comfortable with you as a person, but are not romantically attracted to you. You may not be acceptable to them as a romantic partner for any number of reasons, including things that may feel unfair, like weight, race, religion, or any other reason. Too many people see dating like employment, where the person who's willing to do the job and is the most qualified should get the job, and then there are some protections in place. There are no obligations around who people are attracted to, and while nearly everyone understands this to some extent, not everyone has internalized that. Being nice or even being generally popular is often not sufficient to attracting someone you want to date. You can't just be a nice person with an uninteresting life, no care given to your personal appearance, and expect success. Expand your hobbies, achievements, and adventures, and you'll ditch the entire friend zone concept. Oh, and if you have hang-ups about online dating, try to overcome them. If you know that all the fish are hungry in one part of the lake, why would you refuse to fish there? As for the conversation springing for this incident, I have thoughts, but I'm trying to steer clear of overt agenda pushing in this video, though you can be the judge of that. First, the not all men hashtag isn't necessary, because as another YouTuber said, almost nobody thinks all men hate women, and the few who do won't listen anyway. I do understand why yes all women can make guys uncomfortable, because it's difficult when you feel like you're impacted, but there's a limited impact we can make personally. I suggest we be empathetic instead of defensive though, and not all men is very defensive. If we're as nice as we think we are, we'll listen and not dismiss something entirely just because some of the more vitriolic radfems are also involved. But let's leave that one for the comments section.